This is Pillow Talk with Alan Alm. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Pillow Talk. Good morning and welcome. Okay. Hello. Welcome to our Be the Sun, Not the Salt podcast. I am Dr. Harry Cohen. I'm joined by my co-host and chief super spreader, Connie Fontaine. And this is another in our series, How do I practice being more heliotropic, more be the sun, not the salt, in all kinds of circumstances? And today's topic is, how do I handle criticism or feedback without becoming defensive?
This is a doozy. I mean, this is one for me. I think I've been working on this topic for, I don't know, since I was born. I think a tendency to take things personally, for feelings to get hurt when you're really committed to an idea or a thought. And so I love walking through different techniques and tips because I've grown over the years, but I got a ways to go.
And that is all of our jobs. We all got a ways to go. The reason we all get a little bit defensive when we get feedback that's critical or actual criticism is because we're wired that way. You're not going to get around it. We're wired to protect ourselves. So if you cut yourself some slack and remember that you're going to be a little bit defensive, you can become a little bit less defensive and maybe even not at all, and take in the nugget of wisdom, the kernel of truth, the tiny bit of useful data that someone is trying to give you. So here are some ways that we have learned to be helpful in taking in the nuggets of wisdom that someone's trying to give us.
I don't know about you, but so since I've already owned up to the fact that this is me, the best one I've learned so far is to take a beat and to not, whether it's a breath or a smile, a pause, to let yourself make sure that you're not letting it rise up inside you and start getting defensive right away. And I have also found that if I say, wow, thank you, if I say something positive first, that completely sets me onto the right track for being able to listen and acknowledge the feedback, thoughts, whatever they are coming towards me.
And I want to underline that 5 times. Thank you and mean it. And when I say thank you and mean it, that means really say, I really appreciate you telling me that. It's not hard. It's not that easy to do. It's hard to give somebody direct critical feedback, especially when the motive is pure and somebody's not trying to take a pound of flesh from you. And you want to acknowledge the fact that you do really appreciate the fact that they said it to you. So say thank you with more than just thanks. But really, I appreciate the fact that you're telling me that. It's not easy for you to say it. So let's see if I can, hear what you're saying, take what you're trying to give me, get better from it, et cetera, et cetera. So really, thank you. I want to underline that.
Well, and I think that's to realize that getting feedback or criticism, if you're going to take it that way, is important because it's on that person's mind and you're better off knowing versus not knowing. And I think that's the other element of it, is to be appreciative. It's a gift that you get when you get, especially if it's feedback around performance or how you're making other people feel. I think that's a gift, because who would want to walk not knowing how you're making people feel?
Right. So knowing that it's a gift, knowing that you're not going to be defensive because you're really working at that, and then trying to squeeze out what's really useful about what I'm hearing. When I say useful, as in, there's some truth to it and it'll make you better in some form or fashion. So you can ask for clarifying questions and examples and more. How do I do this? When does this show up? How often have you seen it? Just so you can really dig for the goal that's there. You're really looking for something to make you better. Many years ago, I'll never forget it. I got some feedback after giving a presentation, 50 people in a room of executives, and they all gave written feedback, and one fellow wrote, "He's not that smart to be that arrogant." And what was so great about that particular line, out of 50 people, that was the one negative one that I picked out, is that I do have a little arrogance that is never helpful when I'm presenting, and it was just forever useful to me. So I'm just saying that there's gold.
Felt like arrogance to somebody. And I think the other thing you mentioned is perspective. I mean, you zoned in on 1 out of 50 and you remember that one. You probably don't remember what the other 49 said. So I think keep in perspective on feedback too, that this is one person, one piece of feedback. It's important to listen to, but also just don't take this as, an indictment on your whole day.
Not only I agree with you 1,000%, it's not an indictment on you or your whole day. And yet the whole point of this is we all want to get better. And when you get practiced at receiving feedback well, you literally are modeling, I'm a work in progress. And every single one of us is a work in progress. And you model it for the world and for yourself. Thank you for that. I can get better with that. I'm going to get better with that, and welcome it for the next time. It makes everybody feel great when you can practice receiving feedback really well. Make it a goal or I know I want to receive feedback well. I'm just doing this podcast, for example. We have a producer who constantly tells us, yeah, could you redo that? Could you say it more, better, differently? And I love it because it gives us a chance to try it again and trying saying it to be more effective, because our mission is to try and be better at this craft.
Yes, and we always receive that feedback well too, because there's specificity, which is, I think, the other piece of receiving feedback is in the moment you have to find that ability to listen well enough, but also ask clarifying questions.
Mhm.
Can you tell me more about that? Specifically, how did that come about? How did I make you feel? Is it the first time that you've noticed this? Anything that gives you the whole picture, because it's easier to walk away from a conversation like that if you've got some actionable results that you
Yeah.
can strive towards.
Yep. Making it concrete for yourself so that
Mhm.
you're, again, looking for something that I can use, that I can integrate, that I can immediately deploy. Thank you very much. So I wouldn't go to town on why the person is telling you that, because your mind can go nuts on telling stories on why this person is telling you that. I don't trust their motive, et
Right.
cetera, et cetera. Just take it in and
Yeah.
and move on. Right?
Right. As
Don't.
long as you know what they're telling you, but you're right, no questioning the motive, because that would just defeat the purpose. And I think at the end of that conversation, acknowledging it, thanking them, there's a couple of reasons I do it. One is because I want, no matter how I looked or felt, if I allowed it to show at all, I want them to know I appreciated it. I want to
Yep.
compliment for being willing to have that kind of conversation. And it helps cover any other things that I might have said or felt or during the conversation. I want them to know I truly appreciate the feedback.
Yep.
Um, that ends the conversation on a high note, no matter how you're still feeling inside. If you've got to walk away and do some remuneration on it, it's okay too. And I think you've said this to me before. You could say, you know what, I need to think more about this. I'd love to come back and chat about it again if you
Yeah.
can't have the conversation in that moment.
And if that's a really great point, Connie, which is if you need to say, let me think about what you just said, that's a lot to take in. I want to get back to you on that. Again, I appreciate you telling me that. But before I respond, really want to think about it. Lovely thing to say if you can pull that off.
Yeah, because if you can't be genuine and authentic in the moment, at least that is a genuine and authentic response still.
That's all we're looking for. We're looking, A, to be better human beings because all of us are work in progress. And B, we're doing it together. We're doing it with each other. We're doing it with and for each other. So the person who's telling you that has got enough love to tell you it. Again, thank them.
Thank them. That's a great way to end, I think. If you have any thoughts on this topic or anyone you'd love to share this with, please do. And in the meantime, thanks for listening.